Throughout this channel, we have celebrated some of the greatest rulers in history. But today, we're flipping the script and diving into the absolute worst rulers whose disastrous reigns left lasting scars on our world. And what better place to start than with the Roman Empire? While Rome gave us some of the most brilliant leaders to ever grace our world, it's also infamous for a poop gallery of rulers so terrible they practically redefined bad leadership. But how do you actually measure the worst of the worst? Well, I've cooked up a little stinky system to do just that. First, we'll tackle their legislation. How did the laws and policies they passed wreak havoc on the Roman people and crumbled the empire from within? Second, we'll march right into their military blunders. Because, as we all know, the Roman military was the backbone of the Republic and the Empire. Lastly, we'll examine the long-term damage they inflicted and how their reigns left Rome in the toilet for years to come. So get ready, because we are about to plug our noses and wade through the rotten rulers of the Roman Empire. Kicking off our smelly list at our number 5 spot is Trebonius Gallus. Born in 206 CE in Italy, his father was Gaius Vibius and his mother was unknown. Most of his policies went against the Christian faith, as he would go on to persecute many Christians and even exiling many popes from the Roman Empire. But it's his military failures that really make him stink. After making peace with the invading Goths, the terms heavily favored the barbarians, allowing them to return home freely with Roman slaves and plunder. Worse yet, Gallus even agreed to pay them an annual tribute, which made Rome look incredibly weak. Despite ordering attacks on the Sasanian Empire, the Sasanian Emperor S.J.A I beat him to the punch, launching a surprise assault in Armenia and obliterating a large Roman army. S.J.A then invaded Syria, sacking several cities with little to no Roman resistance. And of course, Gallus was to blame for this terrible defense of Roman lands. As for his death, historians disagree on exactly what the cause was. Some say he was murdered by his own troops, while others say he was abandoned by his own legions and left to die by the hands of Rome's enemies. What is clear, however, is that Gallus did meet his end in 253 CE. His legacy was one of incredible weakness, setting the stage for the Goths and the Sasanians to wreak havoc on the Roman Empire in the years to come. Next up on our crap-stained list is the ruthless Caracalla at number 4. Born on April 4th, 188 CE in Lugdunum, Gaul province, Caracalla was the son of Emperor Septimius Severus and Empress Julia Domna. His reign was soaked in blood from the very start. In 211 CE, he had his own brother, Geta, murdered right in front of their mother to seize sole control of the empire. Caracalla's political career was almost non-existent, as he much preferred playing general over ruling an empire. Though he did introduce a few policies, like granting Roman citizenship to all free men and creating the Antiennianus, a double denarius coin, though he would leave most of his governing affairs to his mother, while he busied himself with the sword. You'd think that with such a fondness for military matters, Caracalla might have been a skilled general. But in reality, he was more of a bloodthirsty tyrant than a tactician. Instead of fighting strategic wars, he spent much of his reign indulging in personal vendettas. Most infamously in 215 CE, when he ordered the massacre of young men in Alexandria, Egypt, just for mocking him. Towards the end of his reign, he did wage a semi-successful initial campaign against Parthia, but his efforts were cut short when one of his own soldiers assassinated him while he was taking a poop. A fitting end to a stinky emperor, rendering his military achievements laughable. Caracalla's legacy left a dark stain on the Roman Empire. As for his legacy, he was seen as one of the most tyrannical rulers in Roman history. His reign sowed deep distrust of Roman emperors by the Roman people, contributing to the growing instability that would eventually lead to the fall of the Western Roman Empire about 250 years later. Next stop on our Poo-Choo Express, we have Constantine II at our number 3 spot. Born in 316 CE in Arles Vianasis, he was the son of Emperor Constantine I and Empress Flavia Maxima Fausta, along with his brothers Constans and Constantius. Constantine II inherited a slice of the Roman Empire, but his reign would leave much to be desired. While he did grant some religious freedoms to pagan groups and sought to boost the authority of some sects of Christianity, that's about the extent of his contributions, certainly not enough to mask the awful stench of his rule. At first, Constantine II's military career actually showed some promise. He won victories against the Goths, Sarmatians, and Alemanni, actually earning him a decent reputation on the battlefield. But that brief success came to a screeching halt as his lust for power deeply corrupted him, as he would go on to decide that he should be the sole ruler of the Roman Empire. He would initiate the war against his brother Constans for the province of Italia. However, Constans knew he was coming and ambushed him at the city of Aquileia in 340 CE, and Constantine II would lose his life during the ambush. Though Constantine II was regarded as an actual decent ruler and general before his death, his ginormously foolish mistake of attacking his brother not only led to his own demise, but led to the Roman Empire's most unstable period they've ever had up till that point. Constantine II would play a huge part in the fall of the Western Roman Empire, and he is often regarded as the worst ruler of the Constantinian dynasty. So it just goes to show that even though you're a decent ruler for most of your tenure, one huge mistake can put you among the worst. Nearing the end of our stink-ridden list, at our number 2 spot, we have Commodus. Born on August 31st, 161 CE, in Lanuvium, Italy. Born to Marcus Aurelius and Faustina the Younger. Commodus is infamous not for what he did to further Roman policies, but for barely governing at all. Instead of ruling, he was far more interested in living the high life. The only real policies he enacted was devaluing Roman currency to boost his own spending power, and he would not even use it to benefit the Roman people by giving back to them in any way, shape, or form. Of course, he just used it to extend his own extravagant lifestyle. His military career was equally laughable. Upon his father's death, he promptly made peace with the Germanic tribes, even though the Romans were on the verge of victory. This infuriated his military advisors and only fueled further assassination attempts against him. While his reign was relatively peaceful, his negligence allowed Rome's enemies to grow bolder in the long run. It seems to be a trend among bad Roman emperors, as a lot of them were assassinated in the bathroom, and Commodus would be no exception to this, as he was killed while taking a bath. His legacy is often marked by most historians as the start of a long decline of the Roman Empire. Now, before we unveil the stinkiest emperor on this list, we've got some honorable mentions for you. Now to unveil the most rotten and vile emperor to ever rule over the Roman Empire. Well, we have Caligula taking the poop throne as the #1 spy. Born August 31st, 12 CE in Antium, Italy, to Germanicus, Julius Caesar, and Agrippina the Elder. Caligula's reign was infamous for his descent into madness. Ironically, though, the early years of his reign were surprisingly decent. He introduced policies that abolished unfair taxes, ended the treason trials set up by his great uncle Tiberius, and granted amnesty to exiles. But soon enough, the wheels fell off the chariot shortly into his reign, because Caligula would suffer from a severe fever. And when he recovered, it was as if a switch had been flipped. While historians can't confirm how much the illness impacted his behavior for certain, it marked the start of his spiral into madness. Caligula began undoing his own reforms, most notably reinstating the treason trials and executing many senators. His reckless spending and extravagant lifestyle drained the imperial treasury, leaving the empire pretty much completely bankrupt by the end of his reign. When it comes to his military achievements, well, there aren't any. He fortified defenses along the Rhine and improved military infrastructure, but that's about it. Rather than focusing on ruling or being a general, Caligula preferred to indulge in lust and cruelty. He seduced countless wives, often murdering their husbands and forbidding the women from remarrying. He even committed incest with his sisters and executed many of his own male relatives, sparing only his uncle, Claudius, whom he saw as too pathetic to pose any real threat to his rule. And he just really enjoyed humiliating him. The ultimate irony, however, is that Caligula's cruelty towards Claudius would come back to bite him after Caligula was assassinated on January 24th, 41 CE by Praetorian tribunes Cornelius Sabinus and Cassius Chaerea, along with several centurions and other military personnel. It was Claudius, of course, who ascended to the throne. While Claudius wasn't the greatest Roman emperor, he was 1,000 times better than Caligula, whose reign remains a dark toilet stain on all of Roman history. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to flush this video down the toilet and leave these awful rulers in the sewers where they belong. Don't forget to wash your hands after sifting through this poop pile of emperors. Also, drop a comment below. Did you agree with this list or did you not? If you're ready for more stinky content on history's worst figures, then keep an eye out for more content is coming soon. And thanks for watching.